Welcome everyone back to Nick and Joe's Film Room. Today we have a new episode where, as you can see, actually you probably might not see, but we are going over the most underrated and overrated players in this 2021 NFL free agency class. Free agency starts 10 days after this video is going to be out, I believe, right? March 13th.
Yeah,
Yes,
13.
March 13th is the start of free agency. So, there's a couple of players that aren't going to get paid as much as they should have, and you'll really see it once they start hitting the field. So I guess we'll start it off with my pick here at number 5 of the we're on underrated then overrated. So the number 5 underrated player, in my opinion, is going to be Michael Davis, team Los Angeles Chargers, not Mike Davis on the Panthers. Michael Davis, Los Angeles Chargers. So I'll let you name your guy, then I'll explain why I picked Michael Davis right here.
Right. Yeah. Okay. My fifth most underrated guy I picked, someone who, he's coming off an injury from last year. He's probably going to leave the Steelers. I got Bud Dupree.
Okay. That's an interesting one in my opinion. It's an interesting one. Yeah. So let me go with my Michael Davis pick first. So let's look at some of his stats here. Obviously, I'm sharing my screen, so I could pull up Bud Dupree's stats also. That's honestly what I'll probably end up doing. I'll probably pull up Dupree's stats here so we can look at them. So Michael Davis was actually a very good corner last year, which I didn't figure this out really. Again, let's go more to the advanced stats because corner advanced stats really matter the most. So on 104 targets, he allowed 724 yards, which is 7 yards per target, which is that's great. And then along with a 79 QB rating for a guy who you have no idea who his name is, and he pretty much played or he started 14 games this year. And a 60 completion percentage allowed, which I want to say is pretty good. Only 3 TDs allowed also.
Yeah, it's not bad.
So, the guy was going under the radar a little bit and gets like about 70. He got 70 tackles last year, 2 tackle for loss. So really, and a touchdown too, apparently. So this guy, and 14 pass deflections. I keep on finding more things about him that I just honestly like about him. So Michael Davis is my 5th pick there, and that is why. So I'll let Nick take over on Bud Dupree. I'll pull up Dupree's stats right
here. Yeah, I got Bud Dupree as mine because he is coming off a season-ending injury, which might be a red sign like that. Like it's not gonna it could be risky. But like just looking at his numbers the past few years, he's been a monster for the Steelers. And I feel like whatever team wants him, it's going to be like on a prove-it-year deal, so it's probably going to be cheap contract. So like that's just going to be a bargain for whoever takes him. Hopefully he can play and stay healthy. But like the numbers he put up like the last few years, last year too wasn't a full season, but he still put up really good numbers.
Yeah, so, definitely.
Yeah.
He's a really good player along next to TJ Watt, which I don't think he's going to be next to TJ Watt next season. Obviously due to the circumstance, I don't think he's going to be near him or playing next to him because the cap space with all of them. Bud Dupree. Again, either he signs for some overrated, expensive deal or some 1 year, like $10 million deal where it's a prove-it deal. I don't really know yet. I guess time will tell on that one. So these are our number 5 picks right here. So for at least my next pick, let me pull it up right here. I have Mike Davis in the Carolina Panthers. So back-to-back Mike Davises. So let me. I'll let you say your guy first, then I'll. Yeah.
Right, the 4th guy I have might be a sus pick, but I got Jameis Winston as my 4th.
Jameis Winston. I remember you told me you had him. I did think. Okay. Mike Davis, as everyone knows, he did come in for Christian McCaffrey, and in my opinion, really tore it up. Again, tore it up under the circumstances. Again, he had 5.3 yards per target and 4.5 yards per touch. which I think 4.5 yards per touch is actually above average, way above average.
Yeah, solid.
His rushing yards didn't really wow you, but again, with the pass game, he actually had a 1,000-yard year in 12 games started. He had 8 total TDs. Again, I think he's going to be, he's older too. He is 20. He's 28, so he's not that old, but I think he's going to sign for probably a 1 to 2 year deal on a very cheap deal. And I probably even a 1 year deal. And I think a team's going to have to, I think a team's really going to have to snag him. So, yeah, that's Mike Davis for me.
Yeah, that's a good cheap running back.
So, yes, pick number 4 for you.
Okay, I have Jameis Winston. Okay, he didn't start last year, but like I feel like just learning from Drew Brees I feel like he's going to improve a lot. And like a lot of teams out there right now have quarterback issues, and like I don't know if Jameis Winston's going to be a starter, but like any team could sign him. It's going to be for a couple million, and it's like I mean, I feel like it's just a low risk, high reward move if you pick up Winston next year. He did throw a touchdown in the playoffs with the Saints. So I mean, I feel like he's going to improve. Like he did throw 30 picks with the Bucs, but I feel like wherever he goes, he's going to be better.
I mean, let's not forget these stats. I mean, he led the league in yards per game in 2019. Obviously, interceptions too. He led the league in passing yards and pass attempts. Obviously, I do think, I mean, if he limits those interceptions a little bit, I mean, whatever team he goes to, if they have enough weapons for him, I think he's a relentless and. I'm not going to say he doesn't care type quarterback, but he slings the ball when he has to. He will throw the ball anywhere, and that's something you like in your quarterback, but also don't like. You like it.
He's not afraid at all.
He's not really afraid. Period. So, Jameis Winston with that pick right there. Again, if he can return to his 2019 type thing with maybe a little bit less interception, 30 is way too much. I think he had like 9 pick sixes or something. That's way too much.
I mean, I think he learned last year from Drew Brees.
I don't think you can get 30 interceptions back-to-back years. I don't think it's possible. But yes, on to our third pick.
He might even be the Saints starter next year too.
Probably, honestly. So on to our third picks here. Oh, let me grab this. On to my third pick here, which is Mackenzie Alexander. So I'll let you say your guy first, so we can go over.
Yeah, my third underrated guy is kind of a biased pick, but I got Matt Milano.
Okay, I saw that one coming. All right, so I have Mackenzie Alexander, and his box score stats are not really what impresses you the most. Let me scroll down over here to the stats that really impress you. Again, I'm saying he's the most underrated because everyone really shit on this defense a lot, and I don't think it was that bad. I think obviously, he played for the Vikings, or he played for the Bengals last year. That's my fault. Played for the Bengals last year. Played for the Vikings the year before that. Correct.
Yeah.
Again, he was a very good corner last year. And he is going to sign, in my opinion, I don't think for any more than like $6 million. And that is a steal, in my opinion. Allowed 0 TDs on 60 targets. He was thrown at 60 times, 0 TDs, and a whop in 7 yards per target, which is great. 82 QB rating allowed. And he blitzed 25 times. He had, I think, 60 tackles. I think it was 47 tackles, and an interception. Completion percentage was a little high, but again, he only allowed 400 yards. So, I would like to say that he, is pretty good in my opinion. And I think he is number 3. He is number 3 on my list here. So.
Yeah, he didn't get a lot of attention since he played for the Bengals last year.
Yeah, so definitely a player you would want your team to steal.
Yeah. So yeah, I got Matt Milano as my third. I mean, he is expected to get like a decent amount of money, but like I just feel like some people might just like be sleeping on him. Like I feel like he could be the best free agent linebacker in this free agency class, which could be a hot take. But like with the Bills last year in the regular season, every game he like was healthy and playing, they were undefeated. His only loss, I mean, was the AFC Championship game when he played. We don't talk about that game, but like he just has like a winning impact on like the team, and like he was only a fifth round pick too, and he like became like one of the leaders of that defense, and like he puts up solid numbers too. He gets a lot of tackles. You know, he can even get sacks.
Yeah.
But his main thing is he's such a great coverage linebacker.
I was just about to say
I feel
that.
like not a lot of people see that.
2019, that boy was one of the best in the league. Obviously, he didn't start nearly as many games this year because he was injured. And probably would have put up similar stats if he was healthy the whole year. But yeah, I want to say something about Matt Milano. His coverage stats are absolutely insane here. 4.5 yards per target and 1 TD allowed. That's absolutely insane.
He's unbelievable in coverage.
An unbelievable coverage guy. Can really do it all, in my opinion. He can stop the run very well, as you can see. And if he played the full season, he would have had another 100. I mean, if you look at it, he was off to a way better start than the year before that. So he had 45 tackles. Did he play 5 games or 10 games?
I think it's technically started 5, but like, he played in 10 games.
So he played in 10 games. He might not have had as best stats, but I mean, again, he clamped up in the pass game here, allowing 158 yards. The yards per target really is something that intrigues my eye here. All right, so with number 2 on this list for me, I have Davondre Campbell. Again, I'll let you say your guy first, and then we'll go on with my guy.
Yeah, my number 2 free agent here. He had a good year for the Rams. I got Troy Hill.
Troy Hill, I totally forgot about Troy Hill. I'm not even gonna lie, that is a very good pick. I think we both have a consensus number 1 that we're not gonna say next pick. We'll say when the next pick comes. But Devandre Campbell was an outstanding player. Getting pretty much, I'm gonna give him 200 tackle back-to-back seasons. He got 99. I'll give it to him. In the pass game, he is decent enough. Does get targeted a lot. Not too many missed tackles either. So he's pretty decent in the pass game. I think only because he's very good in the run game and he's being very slept on. He's an inside linebacker, so inside linebackers don't have to cover the pass like that too much. But as you can see, a great run stopper, 7 tackle for loss, 99 tackles, 2 sacks, 3 pass deflections, one forced fumble. And he actually had 0 picks this year, which the year before that he had 2 interceptions. So a very good player here. So I'll let you
Puts
explain.
up consistent numbers there.
Yeah. So I'll let you explain your guy now.
Yeah, I got Troy Hill as my number 2. I mean, the Rams, first of all, had a top defense last year, and I feel like everyone talks about Jalen Ramsey as like a top corner, but like Troy Hill is like a very good corner too that like not a lot of people I feel like talk about enough. I mean, last season he had 3 interceptions, and two of them were pick sixes. So like the man just gets the ball and he makes plays.
Yeah, those are game changing.
10 pass deflections. He forced 1 fumble, recovered 2. I mean, solid. 77 tackles, and like, coverage.
Let's go down to these stats.
He did only give 9 yards per completion, which for a corner isn't too bad, I guess. And I mean, the completion percentage might look bad there, but like, I feel like he doesn't give up like the big plays a lot.
Yeah. I mean, his stats look pretty good to me. Again, another player that gets overlooked because another player plays at his position on his team that is, one of the best in the league. And obviously, you understand that, with, it's Jalen Ramsey. He's the best corner in the league, probably. So you're not really gonna, have a widely spoken about player, like Troy Hill talked about that often. So Troy Hill's gonna get the bag this year. It's that simple. But let's actually get
he's a playmaker.
Yeah, let's get our number one player on here. Troy Hill actually, I believe he's 5. I thought he was shorter than that, but I thought he was way shorter than that. I don't know. I thought he was like 5'8". I was about to say he's like the first like really short corner, like very very short corner, to actually start. But so now let's get our number one pick, which is Curtis Samuel right here.
Yep.
I guess we'll both do some explaining on Curtis Samuel here. So I'll go first. Curtis Samuel's a playmaker. I'm a New York Jets fan, so I think he would fit perfect into the system where he actually, I think we have 4 former 49ers coaches, one being the offensive coordinators. He was the passing coordinator. So, again, Curtis Samuel would be perfect because he is pretty much like Deebo Samuel, but a way more experienced version. So, he would fit perfectly into the offense. And just look at the man himself. He can catch any ball that goes to him. He can run the ball.
Look at the improvement there.
I mean,
catch percentage.
I'll just let you do some of the talking. Yeah, this guy has a big season this year.
Yeah. I mean, looking at his 2019 to 2020, he almost improved his catch percent by 30%, which means he did a lot of work in the offseason, obviously. And Carolina didn't have a lot of prime time games, but every time they did, he was just doing everything. He was catching balls, he was even taking rushes, he was just making plays. He has such great speed too. He's kind of like a Tyreek Hill. Obviously not like him, his the way he plays, but he runs the same kind of plays like Tyreek Hill does.
Definitely. I mean, he really gets a little bit of chunky yards every single play, as you see. Actually, I mean, his yards after catch is 4 per reception. He really that's pretty good for your. I mean, every single play you're getting 4 extra yards where you catch the ball from. That's pretty good. His drop percentage was 5%, which I believe is great. Interceptions on passes when targeted, he was only 1. Passer rating when thrown to was 109. Which is absolutely insane. Again, not too much to say about him. Really good player. So those are our underrated players, and we'll hop into the overrated players now. All right, so pick number 5 on our overrated list. My first pick is Trey Henderson, I believe is the way to pronounce it. Trey Henderson. So you give your pick.
Yeah, my number 5 overrated free agent is Mr. Juju Smith-Schuster.
Oh, okay. I like that pick right there. It's a very good pick. You have him. I didn't have number 1, but you had him a little. I thought you were gonna have him in the top 3 there. But yeah, let me go ahead with
other guys I feel are more overrated.
Henderson had a great year last year. Don't get me wrong, great year, phenomenal year. But you can't. Okay, let me bring up a man. I'm going to give you his exact comparison while you do not pay someone off of a good year they have. Obviously, it wasn't as good of a year, but still, he played absolutely insane this year. He was a backup most of the year. This is Henry Anderson, by the way. Had 7 sacks, 35 tackles, 16 QB hits, and they signed him, and it was absolutely terrible. Okay, you can't give a player, and Henry Anderson only got $9 million. Trey Henderson, I saw, is going to be offered by some teams. I've heard rumors in between 3 to 4 years and in between $40 and $50 million. you can't give money to a guy like this. In my opinion, that's overrated. And I'm not saying that's his fault. He's a very good player, but he's being overrated by the market. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying his value is very overrated. That's where we're going with this. Saying these players' value is terribly overrated. And Hendrickson is number one in my opinion on that overrated list. So I'll let you go ahead with Mr. Smith-Schuster here.
Okay. Juju Smith-Schuster in 2018 when Antonio Brown was there, he had a great year, his rookie year, 1,400 yards and all that. Like the last 2 years, we'll talk about last year, but last year he had 831 yards on, first of all, 97 receptions, which was 8 yards per catch. And he had 6.5 yards per target. I mean, I guess you could blame Big Ben too for that. But he was only averaging 50 yards a game last year. And they're expecting his contract to be like the same as like Odell Beckham and Michael Thomas. I just can't pay him the money when he's not putting the numbers. Ever since AB left, he hasn't proved he can be the wide receiver number one.
And you see 3 fumbles this year. Something that can't happen again. Something that hurts me is the yards per reception dropped by 5 yards. Again, compared to Curtis Samuel, Curtis Samuel's a better player. It's that simple. Curtis Samuel,
he had better numbers than him last
Curtis
year.
Samuel, when thrown at,
not touchdown wise, but
and Curtis Samuel is projected to make probably like nine mil this offseason. When what's his face is projected to make a lot more. When what was I about to say? When Samuel is going to make a lot less, and Juju is going to make far more than him. For some odd reason, I don't know why. All the hype, I guess. So let's look at some of these stats down here. Again, rating, drop percentage was actually pretty good. So he didn't drop too many balls. But yeah, I mean,
he just didn't put up wide receiver one numbers.
Yeah, just a little bit overrated in my opinion. So yeah, we'll hop into our next guys right there. Nothing really to say about that. Next, I have Anthony Harris.
I
mean,
number 4 overrated guy.
Yeah, you go.
My number 4 overrated guy is Melvin Ingram.
Ooh, okay. So let me go with Anthony Harris first. A phenomenal 2019 season. Phenomenal. One of the best years out of a known. He was the most underrated safety in 2019, and then in 2020 takes a big drop. Yes, he did have 104 tackles. I get that. But in the pass game, he just took a very big drop in every single category you can look at. Maybe completion percentage was better. Again, wasn't targeted too many times. I understand that. But when he was targeted, it was bad. It was very bad. Again, and 0 interceptions when he had 6 the year before that. 6 interceptions to 0.
Yeah.
Again, does come with 40 more tackles. But again, still 4 less pass deflections in 2 more games. No fumble, no forced fumbles, no fumble recoveries, nothing like that. And again, every single category went up from a great year he had. More yards allowed, more yards per completion, more yards per target, 4 TDs allowed, which is, in my opinion, it's a decent amount right there. More air yards, more yards after catch. He blitzed more and nothing happened. He didn't even touch the quarterback. More missed tackle percentage. So,
I'm just looking at that QB rating stat.
Yeah, you really can't pay this guy. I saw 15 million a year. That's crazy. You cannot do that. You give this guy 10 to 12 mil. 10 is safe. So I'll let you go with your play with Melvin Ingram here.
Melvin Ingram the last years has just been completely falling off. Like 2017 and 15, he had over 10 sacks, but 2018, 2019, he only had 7 sacks, which is downwards from before. And last year, he didn't play a full season, but he recorded 1 sack last year in 7 games. he only had 10 tackles. Like no tackles were lost. 5 QB. It's like he was even there in those 7 games. And like just like looking at his numbers, like how down they went, and he's expected to make like 11 mil a year. Like, how do you pay someone with 0 sacks from last year 11 mil, and he hasn't had 10 sacks in 4 seasons?
Yeah, these are bad. You can't pay a guy that much money. Especially this 2020 season. I get he played only 7 games, but
Yeah,
0
he didn't
sacks,
do anything in those games.
only 5 QB hits. Like, what are these stats? We need 2017 Melvin Gordon back. It's that simple.
He used to be like a top pass rusher.
Now he's not. Just that simple. So yeah, that's our 4th guys right here. So let's hop on to number 5, where I actually have a guy we already mentioned, so I'm not going to explain it again. My number 5 is Juju.
Number 3.
Or yes, my number 3. It was Nick's number 5. My number 3 is Juju, so I'll let Nick explain his.
I mean, my number 3 is the one you just said before, Anthony Harris.
Oh, so
we both explained these guys already.
We already explained these guys already. So let's actually hop on to number 2, which my number 2 is Yannick Ngakoue. That's my number 2 on this list. So
okay, yeah, my number 2 over guy. I got T.Y. Hilton.
T.Y. Hilton. Okay. So my number 2, I will again. This guy is. There has to be something wrong about him. When he was traded from Jacksonville, or when he was traded to Minnesota, they started losing games, rapid pace, okay? When he gets traded away, they win 5 out of 6 games. And I'll get to the stats. And then Baltimore starts losing games. Again, I'll get to the stats. The first half of the season, he was pretty good. This second half, he was absolutely terrible. There's nothing to say about it. If he kept up the pace that he did at the start of the season, he would have had a decent year. But he didn't. With Baltimore, he played 9 games and 3 sacks, 2 tackle for loss, only 3 QB hits. That's really not valuable at all, in my opinion. Ngakoue is not who he used to be. Yeah, only 6 QB knockdowns. Not too much to say about it though here. Not really the best stats here for a player. I see he wants like 50, I think I want to say 16, 17 mil. I'm sorry, this is not 16, 17 mil worthy. This is like Avion Clowny 2.0 from last year. And if you pay this guy that much, you are drunk. Let me put it that way. So Yannick Ngakoue, and I'll let Nick explain T.Y. Hilton here.
T.Y. Hilton, the last 2 seasons, he hasn't had over 800 yards. I mean, last year he had 762 yards on 56 catches. I mean, 5 TDs, but like, I mean, those are supposed to be him being a wide receiver 1, but like, we all know who the wide receiver 1 there now is though. But
oh yeah, easy.
Just the numbers. I don't know. He just hasn't been the same. Like back, like when he had Andrew Luck back then. I guess you can blame the QB situation, but like when he had Andrew Luck, he was putting like godly numbers. But like now he can't. He barely can get 1,000. He can't even get 1,000 yards anymore. I mean, like the catch percentage is decent, I guess, but like I don't know. I mean, I just feel like he's overrated now. Like he's supposed to make like 10 mil a season around the season. So I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, catch percentage only at 60. Again, he's like a number 2 receiver with these stats. Took a big step down with being 3 interceptions while throwing it. Obviously, he had a duck at quarterback, so I can't blame him for that too much. Again, yards after catch, I can't blame him. The guy's getting old. He's not gonna run like he used to anymore. Let's be real here. He's not. It doesn't have the wheels he nearly used to have.
Yeah.
And again, just everything's just average here. Average stats. So yeah, let's go on to our number 1s here. Which my number 1 is Matthew Judon. And what is your number 1, Nick?
Damn, another Baltimore guy.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, my number one free agent. I mean, he's not going to get a multi-year deal. I hope. It's Jadeveon Clowney.
Yeah, I didn't put Clowney on here because I thought that he failed his prove it deal last year. He failed it. But let's go to Matthew Judon, who wants $20 million, 2-0, which I believe would make him the highest paid. Would that make him the highest paid defensive player? I believe it would. If he signed for 4 years plus.
Yeah, up there.
Yeah, per year it would make him the highest paid. And this man is nowhere. This man is not Aaron Donald. Okay, he is not highest paid. So let's go. He had in 14 games. Again, keep in mind he wants 20 million. Okay, 6 sacks. That's not and he's an outside linebacker who's an edge rusher because he doesn't drop back and pass, as you can see. He wanted 20 million for 6 sacks, 50 tackles, only 32 or so, and only 9 tackle for loss. Okay, obviously 21 QB hits is very good. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I think if you sign him for 13, 14 mil, he's a really good player. But $20 million, I feel like, because I know that's what he wants. That makes him terribly overrated, in my opinion, because he wants way too much money, and that's just not how that should work at all. Because he's not that good. I mean, he's good, but he's not.
That's way too much money.
I mean, just look at the step down from last season. Like, he stepped down in every category. 0 forced fumbles this year. 0. 3.5 less sacks, 4 less tackles, 11 less solo, 12 less QB hits, 5 less tackle for loss. Again, these stats just keep on piling up. There's many reasons why this guy should not get $20 million. If I'm the New York Jets, who I know they have ties, they're going to sign for $20 million. If that happens, that is terrible. I think if you're going to sign him to $12 to $15 million. Closer to 12 is obviously the way better pick right there. But yes, I'll let Nick explain Jadeveon Clowney, who.
I mean, there's not really much to talk about Jadeveon Clowney. I mean, he's probably going to want the same as last year, like 1 year, like over $10 million. When last season with the Titans in 8 games, he didn't record 1 sack. First of all, in his whole career, he hasn't had a 10-sack season, but like the last 2, he's had 3 sacks combined. It's just, I mean, on the pass rushing game, he's just not existent. I mean, his run defense is not bad, I guess. He does get some. I'm pretty sure his like running defense grade's not that bad, but just he doesn't have the numbers to be making over 10 mil a season. Like, even if it's 1 year, like he needs to get. He deserves like less than 6 mil.
100%.
Only
6 QB knockdowns in 8 games, and I'm actually curious to see the snap count percentage from this season. He played 426 snaps this year, which is a decent amount in my opinion. Obviously, only played 8 games, so let's keep that in mind. So he pretty much played in the games he played pretty much every snap if you think about it, because he played half of the game, which is 50%. So he played 12. He was off the field for 12%. So he played about 90% of the snaps that he was on the field for, or when they were playing, he played about 90% of the snaps. Again, this guy's a terrible number 1 overall pick. I want to say it. This is, I mean, even his nickname is Doo-Doo.
That just explains it right there.
And that explains, I don't know why the Titans. What did the Titans give him? 9 mil last year. What was the deal?
It was like 15 mil 1 year.
That was terrible. Obviously they had the money, but I don't think you could give him that type of money ever again. But yeah, that's I'll leave it at that right there.
Yeah, that's our list.
That's our list right there. Please like, comment, subscribe. So much support on these past few videos. Everything's going crazy right now. All I see is you guys spamming the like button, and the sub count keeps on going up, which you absolutely love to see.
We love the positive comments.
Yeah, we love the positive.
Not the negative.
I mean, we love the negative too. It really, some of the negative comments are kind of funny to us, And we know you guys are either not being serious or just being stupid with some of the comments. At least some of them are actually trying to help, and I really appreciate those because those actually
As
are
long
going to
as you're
help.
pressing on our videos.
Yeah, I mean the ones that actually help us are really going to be good in the long run for us. So if you have anything that can help us, any type of suggestion that we should do, or just anything that can critique our videos. We're not perfect, so we do need help, obviously, and maybe you guys know some stuff that we don't. So please let us know. And yeah, that'll be the video. This video will be coming out before free agency starts. So obviously, we will update you guys in later videos to see how this went, and see if our market value predictions were right, actually. And maybe once the season's done, we'll do reacting to this video or something, because it might go terribly right or terribly wrong. We'll see.
You have to be a
So
god next year.
exactly. So yeah, that'll be the video, guys. In Nick and Joe's film room. We're trying to bump out as many videos a week. The schedule has been very busy. We're trying to bump out videos whenever we can.
We're grinding.
It is football.
Off the scene.
It is football season. So, that is obviously number one priority, but we will be throwing out videos whenever we can. And Nick and Joe's room, and we're out. Peace.